welcome to Full-Time live from the Old Suffolk Punch here on the Fulham Palace Road after Fulham's 1-0 win over Middlesbrough at Craven Cottage. My name is Jack Collins and I'm joined by Don Betts.
Hello, hello.
And Nathan Martin. And we are going to be discussing it with Fulham. Lads, how do you win a game 5-0 by a 1-goal margin? Dom, difficult at times, isn't it, Fulham?
Yeah, it is difficult, but it's also just like we've not. There's been so many games, most likely at 3 o'clock, because we don't win those 3 o'clock home games. But there's been so many games this season where it's been that kind of game and we haven't got it over the line. So I guess that's some form of positive. But I was like, as soon as we got an early goal, we were dominating for the ball open 35 minutes. And then I was like, surely this means they're scoring in the 43rd minute, makes it 1-1.
And then the 87th minute after that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So for me, it was just nice. I don't like when it comes to the Championship. Yes, you can talk about style of play this, style of play that, but in games like this, it really does not matter. If you want to go up,
you win.
These are the games you have to win. Like these home games are your bread and butter. And when it comes to Fulham, 7:45 kickers on a Friday night seem to be ours.
Is there anything better, Nathan, than winning on a Friday night? Having a whole weekend like, we've done it, it's over.
Yeah, it's especially when you're Fulham, because any Fulham win it's never going to be relaxing and without stress. So if you have the emotional stress of a Fulham win on a Friday night, just the endorphin release and all the sort of afterwards, it feels fantastic. And I think Dom's exactly right. I don't really care how we win these games if we just win these games. And we've got to win ugly ones. We've got to win ones where we're clearing it into the Thames. And you know what? The calls might go your way once or twice, but you know what? Tonight we had some great stretches. We had some horrible stretches, but we've come out with 3 points, and all the pressure's on everyone else this weekend. We can just have a pint and chill out.
Well, I was saying, like, if you compare it to last weekend's game, we played like Johan Cruyff's Barcelona, because last week's game was
one of the most turgid games we've ever watched.
Yeah, I did displeasure of being there, but obviously you had displeasure of actually having to attempt to watch it, whereas I could sort of just go back and score, of course. Taste holds really nice chips, but no, it was when we came out in that first half, it was nice to see just the intensity of our play, because how many times have we said this season that there hasn't been that intensity like throughout the entire game, let alone a portion of the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Nathan, we started absolutely electrically, and you know what, we complain constantly on this podcast or on these videos that Fulham do not come out of traps, and today Fulham came out of traps like lightning, like greyhounds.
Yeah, and I think Scott got it exactly right from the get-go. One of the things I think is really nice, we've been thinking about Mitro being out and how are we going to replace. You know what, Bobby Reed up top gives us a fluidity and a speed of play that meant when K-Mac's sitting there in a bit of a holding role, it meant that we were able to just move the ball, just shift Middlesbrough from side to side. It's the best probably opening 15 minutes I think I've seen us play maybe in a long time. And you know, it was a deserved goal. It was great to see Joe Bryan driving forward. But Bobby didn't get the goal tonight, but he had so many little flicks, so much creation, and he was just a nuisance the entire time.
Look, we've been talking about this a little bit on the podcast. Without Mitrovic up top, Fulham are able to actually press really high because there's so much pace in that front three. And today it worked.
I said it on Monday, and I said it on Thursday, and I'll say it again. That Mitrovic not playing isn't as bad as people think it is. Yeah. Both games prior today that Mitrovic hasn't played this season, obviously bar that League Cup game against Southampton, we've won.
Yeah.
We beat QPR, we beat Aston Villa. You know, when we played QPR, they were on a great run of form. You know, Villa, albeit I know it wasn't their first team, but neither was ours. So I don't think this whole Mitrovic absence thing is as big as everyone is making it out to be.
Obviously, he's the best player in the league. You have to take
he is the best striker in the league. But the thing is, though, I feel like when he does play, we are adapting our style of play to suit the way he plays. Whereas when we have Bobby Reed, Cavallero and Knockout as our front three, it's kind of more suited to the way we're playing overall, if that makes sense. Like, we can play, we're not playing and then, we get to Mitrovic, he holds the ball up, he plays it out wide. I feel like, I'm not saying we don't miss Mitrovic, of course we're going to miss Mitrovic.
Anyone would miss a player of that quality,
But
right?
I feel like, without him, it's not a car crash. It's like, we can play the way we play through the midfield and through defence in a lot more smoother transitions, does that make sense?
Let's talk about Michael Hector. Early to be going on to the defence, and I was going to work through the game, but I feel it'd be disingenuous not to talk about him early doors because Michael Hector was a gigantic presence there.
It's just refreshing. He just, there's something about when you see a good defender live, like you see about Virgil, like Van Dijk. If you ever get a chance to watch him play live, he just asserts himself. He's got that physical presence. He just seems to own and have his territory that he's in control of. And Ream was exceptional tonight again. And Ream has been good all year, but he's really been let down by some of these other teammates on that back. By Mawson.
He's been let down by Mawson.
Exactly.
I'm going to put up in a word here for Alfie Mawson because I think I love Tim Ream. You know this more than him, but I think there have been games where Tim Ream has been worse than Alfie Mawson.
I also think when it comes to Tim Ream, he's been let down by Joe Bryan because I think he's been exposed so badly.
Okay, but that hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed. But I've always said when we signed Michael Hector, the best partnership would have been Tim Ream and Michael Hector. It was never going to be Alfie Mawson and Michael Hector. Alfie Mawson has been, ever since he got injured, was it post Newcastle or post Wolves last season, he has been terrible. He doesn't deserve to be in that back four for me. I think Tim Ream is our best centre back to play alongside Michael Hector.
Does Congolo change that?
I don't know if he does because the man is everyone knows Terence Congolo's ability. We all know it. Was it Feyenoord he was at before he went to Huddersfield? Huddersfield fans have never discredited his abilities to be a defender. They discredit his attitude. For me, you don't change it. For me, you also do not play Terence Congolo at left back. Otherwise you're just making him the Dutch Maxime Le Marchand. So for me, it's Terence Congolo's point to push Tim Ream out the side as opposed to bringing him in.
We've got a long season ahead of us. I mean, here's the thing about Hector before we kind of move away from this. What was impressive about Hector, big, strong, physical player who was able to just body up Middlesbrough, and I kind of think if we'd had Hector from the beginning of the season, we would probably be top two or very, very close, even closer.
There's one moment tonight where Michael Hector one-on-one with the striker and just puts in an absolutely world-class challenge with the ball.
But he's also got quick feet for a big guy. And I don't know if you saw him, the one point where he sort of ventured up the pitch and he was, almost a bit like a Sheffield United sort of, leaving him up there. And he's an impressive guy, and he's just got that. And actually, Ream's passing is Ream's had a couple balls tonight that were just pornographic. Like he should not have been able to drive it. And exquisite. And Hector gave him a bit of coverage. Hector's passing isn't amazing. He had a little off. Still better than Mawson. And I see the two of them being a really refreshing.
There's just that confidence in the back line.
I just think Mawson's going to come good. I really do. I have a genuine faith that Alfie Mawson will become.
I hope so.
A very important.
But we can't drop points in the meantime.
Well, he's got the potential. He was literally in the England squad, on the verge of the England squad before he came to us. Obviously, he got relegated with Swansea. I just think, from what I've seen, that Alfie Mawson just for that injury was this guy under Ranieri was like, okay, he's going to make him into a defensively solidified player, but ever since he's come back, especially this season, I just haven't been convinced. And for me, he's going to have to do a lot.
Playing out of position, though.
I understand that, but he's going to have to do a lot to push Tim Ream and Hector out the side, as well as the job that Terence Congolo is going to have to do to push either players out the side.
Well, look, we've got competition for places now. We've been talking about it for the whole season. There hasn't been any competition. Now there is. That's got to be a good thing for Fulham going forward, right?
Yeah, I think honestly, every position on the pitch, you've got someone that's nipping at your heels, and that's really how you need to be. If you're gonna, that's where we have to hope that someone like Brentford might not have that same type of depth.
Let's say they lose Ollie Watkins or Embuemo.
They ain't going to lose Ollie Watkins or Embuemo.
No, but let's say they get injured.
Yeah.
If either those two players get injured, they're standing at the doors of hell.
But that's what I was thinking tonight with TC.
Emery Moore nearly signed for Brentford. What on earth is going on?
Yeah, exactly. I thought about that tonight with TC. I didn't think Kearney had a particularly great game.
When he came off, I was like, what did he do?
I think the point being, and I think, look, TC didn't have a particularly good game today, but we spoke about this a week or two ago, right? When we were talking about the transitions we were playing in the middle. And Tom Kearney puts his foot on the ball, and especially in that first 25 when we were dominating, I thought Tom Kearney stroked the ball about masterfully. Right?
He played it around, but he
opens up the pitch.
No, I understand. I understand he opens up the play and he allows other players to play in a certain way. But with someone of Tom Kelly's calibre, you do expect more.
No, I agree with you. But the
It's
point
a little
being,
rusty, a little rusty.
Yeah, no,
but
that's
and
fine.
I thought Steph Joe coming in. Steph, he just has had such an underrated season.
Also,
where he's just-
Steph,
If
playing
any
in the 10 today has now played all the positions.
If
Again.
anything, out of most centre midfielders we have, I've given Semi Hansen the most stick after. If anything, I think this season it's arguably been his best season he's played for us.
He's matured. Like
Quality.
he's done what we've asked him to do. And we had a joke about when he came over, like how quick would he get a yellow card? And it's like that's not what Steph does. Steph does what he needs to do. He tracks. He makes the passes. He had a couple ridiculous.
He's got Harry Hart to take out the bookings now, so
Yeah,
he
exactly.
is actually now just stopped being a shit house and started being an actual 10, which is kind of mad. That's why he played for Celtic quite a lot. But, you know, look, we've come away from the game here, and I think the point being that we've come away from the game because it's actually not that much to discuss.
Well, and
Fulham
one
went
other
ahead,
thing,
we
only thing I
dominated.
say, you have to at least mention Rodak because I thought Rodak, his distribution is horrible, but he had a couple saves that he.
It's not that bad.
but-
He has the occasional 1 or 2 every game.
But his reflexes and a couple of the saves he made tonight.
Yeah, but how many times have we
He
said?
commands the area beautifully.
How many times have we said this that? Oh, Roderick saved us here, he saved us here, he saved us here. That Swansea game away from home, we did not win that game without Matt Roderick.
No, he made a couple ridiculous.
Like, and everyone sort of spoke about Bettinelli about his sort of command of the area. Well, we've got that in Matt Roderick.
Yeah.
That was sort of the only positive of Marcus Bettinelli, like when he was coming in, like
He was good at commanding the area.
yeah, he wasn't a better shot stopper than David Buck.
Rodak coming
He
in.
wasn't a better shot stopper than Fabry or Sergio
His
Rico.
command of the area was exceptional at times.
Yeah, but now you've got that in Matt Roda. Then,
And a shot stopper.
yeah, so that's the reason it's why you linked the move away.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. He's not going to come in now. He's not going to take that spot back, you don't think? Rodak's playing too well. But, you know, on the whole, second half, I think the funny thing about the first half was first half an hour, we were unbelievable. Last 15 minutes, we were like all over the place defensively. The second half was genuinely like a bit boring. All we've got to talk about, I suppose, is Dennis Adoy's ruled out goal, which doesn't look like it was offside. It was his
And
arm.
also Harry Arter had his like half volley where he tried to like I mean, the dude goes for worldies. Like it doesn't matter where he is, and I'm here for it. Like I am here for it. But yeah, I mean, poor Bobby Reed still can't buy goals at times when he's just
He's got a couple now.
Also, I don't have an issue with the offside goal, but an issue with the fucking lineup.
Yeah,
the
this
line
is it.
was bad.
It doesn't matter if the goal is onside or offside, right? If it's offside, fine. Even if it's not and you call that wrong, it's marginal, right?
It felt like the center ref made the call,
Put your
not
flag
the
up.
lino.
Like, the whole point being, like, I've said like about 15 times the last 2 times, but that's where I feel about it. It doesn't matter. Dennis Adoy's
Put
done
your
a
flag
back
up, we
flip before the flag goes up. That's not okay.
Like, for example, there is no technology being used,
Right.
like set goal line, right?
So the ref obviously got to the liner. Are you sure?
So the lino,
Like, the thing is, he has to be sure to not put his flag up.
Right, but the thing about offsides, and like I did refereeing through university or whatever, and you got being an offsides. There's other ones that you think, did I see a foul? Right, like did someone get knocked down? Offside is very much like it has to be an instinctual. You lift your flag as soon as it happens, unless you're in the Premier League where they've told them,
Or you don't.
right, or in the Premier League where they've told them, don't put your flag up because we have technology that's going to cover your back.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the difference, right? If you have the technology that works here, then that's fine. And if you don't, then you don't, and that's how it kind of rolls. So, one of those. But look, we got the 3 points at the end. At the end of the day, that's what matters. And today, Fulham were okay, right?
Yeah, we were okay. We got the 3 points. Obviously, QPR and Leeds plays it tomorrow lunchtime.
Yeah.
And we're 4 points behind Leeds. Albeit, I know the rest of the league have got to play. But you'd rather be putting the pressure on the opposition than the pressure put upon yourselves.
Absolutely.
It's a long way to go, and we're steadily.
It's like literally the middle of January.
Right.
Like-
And that's the thing is like whenever you want to think about Scotty, look, we're in a great position right now. We have an incredibly talented squad. Like you put our squad against anyone else in the league, and we still have I don't think we're gonna finish top 2 just because I support Fulham, and that just wouldn't be that easy. Like I can't imagine it being that easy. But we're in a great position right now.
I said it midweek, and it is not beyond the realms of possibility that Leeds and West Brom fall out the top 2 and Fulham and Brentford move it.
No, I don't think so either. I think you're probably not too far away. The problem is that this league's so unpredictable, right? And we're...
Well, no, as we've said like multiple times, that Leeds and West Brom haven't been in the top 2 because they're the 2 best teams in the league. They've just been the least
More
2.
consistent, yeah.
They've been the least 2 inconsistent teams. They haven't been the 2 most consistent. They've been the least 2 inconsistent, I suppose.
And Leeds has won some ugly games as well, like which we need to. You know, we're starting to win some ugly games.
Exactly. The last 2 games have been ugly wins, and I think that's key. Right, Dom, final thoughts on tonight?
3 points is 3 points.
3 points is 3 points. Nathan?
Michael Hector.
Game changer.
My last point is please don't boo Pat Roberts. He left the club because he literally didn't get enough game time.
Snake.
And we stopped giving him shit.
Snake.
Like, absolute nonsense.
Snake.
Don't boo Pat Roberts.
Snake.
Right, see you later.
Snake.
Thank you, Don Betts.
Alright.
Thank you, Dave Martin. I've been Jack Collins. This has been Fulhamish live from the Old Suffolk Punch in Full-Time. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Take care.